I'm really excited for this one. This is a tool I've coveted for an extremely long time, but they just weren't practical for homeowner use, price, size, usability, things like that. So what we have here is a plasma torch by bestarc. Let's get this thing open and try it out. The reason that the game has changed and these are now practical for the homeowner is the impossibly small size and price point gives us an indication what has changed in technology to enable this. First, we have to understand what plasma is. Plasma is basically charged ions. How do you get plasma? You create a very high voltage arc and then blow air past it. So you blow an air stream past a high voltage arc, create a plasma stream. How do you create a high voltage arc? You need high voltage. In the past, that had to be accomplished by a transformer, which is basically windings of copper wire that then you use electromagnetic waves to increase voltage depending on the number of windings between coil to coil. This can now be accomplished, and for a while it's been able to accomplish with transistors, basically chipboards. They've now gotten so good and cheap and small that they can pack the high voltage inverter into this impossibly small, affordable package. Amazing. So, main components are the base unit here. It's 220 volt regularly, but it comes with an adapter to go to 110 volt. What you're gonna lose to go to 220 volt to higher voltage obviously is easier than starting at 110, so you lose a little bit of power or voltage there, but we're gonna test out both voltages. Most of you have 110 volt, that makes it most practical, so we're gonna start with that. We've got a ground clamp. We've got our main torch and a couple tubes for the compressed air. All right, let's get this, take a look at the back. Here's our main power cord. This is simply an air-water separator. So our compressed air supply will go right on here. This bowl is to collect any water. And then we've got the output. They come with this little tube. We got to finish installation of this tube. It's simply a push fitting. And to make this a little bit cleaner, let's trim that up. So if you push in these collars and then pull, it simply comes out, but I think we can get away with a lot smaller. The ground clamp has just a simple twist connection here on the front of the machine. The torch is a little bit different. The main connector just threads on here. Then we've got our positive connection and our other wire connection down here. It also comes with a little baggie of spare tips and some thread sealant. So this hose is if you don't have something with your current air compressor, you could use this for air hose, but we've got one already, so this is kind of a spare part. Insane, they both fit on the same welding cart that my old welder took up the whole thing. Unbelievable. For air supply, I'm using this little Craftsman air compressor. Fancy. All right, shows us we've got 59 PSI, 110 volt, amperage. We can turn up and down. Pretty cool. Okay, here's what we're gonna test at 110 volts. We've got this cute decorative birdhouse. My wife loves these, seems to come home with more and more. Which for the most part I'm okay with. This one I kind of like. I brought it into the house this winter, put it into the basement for storage. First I saw it was filled up with sticks and or whatever, but I shook it around and no birds came out, so I thought it was empty. Come winter, I noticed some mice droppings and stuff like that in the basement, and I'm like, where the heck did these mice come from? So I trapped them. Ended up with 4 of them, and they were deer mice. So those normally aren't the mice that come into your house. And then I looked at this thing and went, the mice were living in this, and I brought the stupid thing into the house. There was 4 of them. So I don't want to do that again. But there's no way to open this thing up to clean it out. So we're going to cut a door in the back. This is incredibly hard to do with a Sawzall or any other type of tool, so I haven't done it yet. This is a perfect thing for a plasma cutter, test out on sheet metal. Even you can use the tin snips, I can drill holes, but that always deforms the metal. It's always a little bit awkward. We're going to use our plasma cutter, and that should make quick work of this. So let's test it out. We got a problem. All the mouse nest is on fire in there, which I figured might happen. So maybe we should do this outside. Well, mission accomplished. That was pretty easy. It's not as pretty as I'd like it. A little more practice with it. Visibility inside too with the visor on. Wasn't as good as I would like it, so I wasn't able to stay on the lines. Out here with the sunlight was much easier. Again, a better visor, maybe just some goggles probably would help with that. Again, need a little practice, but the tool itself did phenomenally.